anyone who attempts to murder my son, I have my view of them, of which I'm going to share with the world. That's not strong. That's very polite for anyone who would attempt to murder my boy. So why is it strong? Because you know, no, sorry, oh, of course you don't know, that if you're 33 years old, you can't do what you used to do in your mid-20s, which is to lose weight and be able to handle the loss of that weight. To take a man down 3 pounds beneath the middleweight limit, which is 160 pounds, to have him boil down to 157 is literally attempted murder. And they wanted me to be an accomplice to it. They were asking me to take money to come onto the zone and be a part of it. They asked me to be in my son's corner. They were trying to pay me to be in my son's corner. They wanted me to be an accomplice to my son's murder. Now, if you think that's strong, you need to talk to Michael Watson. You need to talk to Gerald McClellan, if he can make sense. You need to speak to Nick Blackwell. You need to speak to Mike Tyson. You need to speak to Lennox Lewis. Then you'll understand the magnitude of this outrage.
But Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, your son agreed to do that weight change, did he not?
Yes, he wouldn't listen to me. He wouldn't listen to me. And so I had to go behind the scenes in silence and help them make the right decision. And the right decision was made the day before the fight was to take place.
Hi, this is Chick Shane Mosley, and you're watching True School Sports.
All right. It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, Chris Eubank Sr. continues his verbal assault on the handlers and organizers of the fight between his son, Chris Eubank Jr., and Conor Benn. You know, we know this has been a big point of discussion in boxing, what's taking place around this fight that was supposed to happen. And then obviously, you know, the Daily Mail reported that, you know, Eubank had failed some drug tests, more than one, but, you know, fight got canceled because of that. So he was on Talk Sport. Shout out to the fine folks on Talk Sport. You know, I do watch the Talk Sport channel from time to time when they have boxing guests on. He's double, triple down on what he said before. He said the following: to take a man 3 pounds below the middleweight limit is literally attempted murder. They wanted me to be an accomplice to my son's murder by being in his corner. He also mentioned the fact that the zone wanted to pay him to be there, and all these kind of things. Because of the spectacle of it all, it would have been Benn versus Eubank, the two sons squaring off. But you know, I was thinking about this, and I was watching the channel, the guy's name, what was the guy's name? I was watching a lot of videos on this the other day. I think the guy's name was like Pugilist Outlaw. I think that's his name. So if I got the name right, Pugilist Outlaw, go check his channel. He's putting out some good content. He did a video, and he made a great point, and I don't want to take credit for this point because this is his point. It's not my point. It's his point, and this is where I got it from. He stated that this fight with Benn and Eubank Jr. was always pointless because the fathers, you know, Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Sr., they had buried the hatchet years ago, and that they're not like the greatest of friends, but they're cool, they're cordial, they're on speaking terms. And so they tried to pull and you manufacture this beef out of thin air, and they were going to crazy lengths to do it any way they could. So, yeah, like this, again, I reiterate, you know, is Eubank being a little emotional? I don't think so. A lot of people say, like, I've heard people say, oh, well, Chris Eubank Sr. is being too emotional. I don't think he is. I think he's being a great father. I mean, what father? He's first of all, he's been in the sport. He's been an active participant in the sport at the highest of levels. So he knows, he's felt, he's gone through the pain and the struggle of cutting that last pound, 2 pounds or 3 pounds. You know what I'm saying? He's done that in his career. He's done that in his life. So he has skin in the game to say things like that. When you factor in what's been popped in Conor Benn's system, what's been caught in the system, he got tested for clomiphene, which I've recently come to discover is the same PED that Brock Lesnar tested positive for. So Brock, he was Chris Eubank Jr., a 60% weight trained Chris Eubank Jr. was about to go in there and fight the British Brock Lesnar, because that's what Conor Benn was going to be on the night. That's what he's going to be. He's taking the same shit as Brock Lesnar. So why can't we call him the British Brock Lesnar? You know. So I think, again, I reiterate, Eddie Hearn has been the biggest loser in all this. I think the promoter has been the biggest loser in all this. And the story is no longer so much about Conor Benn. It's not about Conor Benn. It's not about Chris Eubank. It's not even about the fight. It's more, the bigger issue is, where does boxing go from here? Can boxing get to a place where we finally stick the flag in the ground as a sport? And I'm not talking about the fans, because the fans have had enough of this shit. I'm talking about the power brokers, the administrators. Can they stick a flag in the ground and finally say to themselves, okay, enough is enough. We have to do a better job of policing and making sure the sport is clean and fair, and that you know, we look out for the safety of our fighters as much as we can. Because we've just seen it too many times, selective outrage from not just Eddie Hearn, but a lot of promoters in boxing of when certain fighters test positive for PED. So all we want in boxing as fans, first of all, the first thing we want is great fights, but we also want fighters to not be, you know, if one guy's going to cheat, let them both cheat. That's how I feel. If one guy's going to be a cheater, then you got to let both of them cheat. And, you know, it goes to show you, you know, I also feel like what this fight has also, what this whole situation has also done is it exposed the boxing media. A lot of the media channels, like, you know, your IFL TVs and people like that who get granted exclusives because they don't ask any hard questions 99% of the time to Eddie Hearn. You know, it also goes to show you the contributions that lazy boxing media and journalism has contributed. The fact that promoters can feel comfortable doing this, and then they have the infrastructure to micromanage and spin the narrative. It goes to show you where we're at in boxing. I mean, Eddie Hearn just did an interview with Akin Barak from DAZN, and he was trying to spin the narrative of this fight and what happened with Conor Benn, and you can't even comment on the video. So it goes to show you, you know, when shit hits the fan and things aren't going so good for Mr. Edward Hearn, how he responds in adversity. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, Chris Eubank Sr. says that this was attempted murder. And he even said that, I'll camp out here and end the video on this note. He also said that he had to go ahead and make this, they wouldn't make the right decision on their own. So he had to go ahead and make the right decision for them, which sounds like to me, Chris Eubank Sr. is the one who got this fight canceled. He's the one who leaked this story to the Daily Mail. So if he's the one that leaked this story to the Daily Mail, and he knew that far out in advance of what was going on with Conor Benn, then it leads to the greater question of, you know, how many fighters, prominent fighters in boxing, on PEDs. Now, I know personally, I know for a fact, I know fighters right now that are not being reported to be on PEDs that are on PEDs, but I'm not going to say that because I let time reveal all. But, you know, how many more are on PEDs that haven't been reported, that haven't been out there to the public? There's probably quite a few that even I don't know about, you know. So, you know, make of that what you will, but leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.
And I think True School Sports, he's the truth. One of the best YouTube, the best.
Ooh, the number one.
Number one.
Brandon, you've been there, man, and you're building up a good following with us.
Thank you.
And I'm proud to be a part of what you're doing too. You are spectacular, and
thank you, man. All the best to True School Boxing, and keep up the good work.